matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2018 regular season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Oh, good footwork on the spin. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
And there's a lot of good to watch in the game last week. He threw 4 touchdown passes. A little bit of concern throwing the 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 2 pick.
Yeah, you want the ratio really to be closer to 3-1 as opposed to the 2-1 that he had. But it is something to build on. They did get the win, didn't they?
Yep. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's not going anywhere to start tonight. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's the offense. Certainly some threats on this offense, and one of them that they target is Doug Baldwin.
Not only does he do a nice job catching the ball downfield, he's also a tremendous blocker that helps unleash the running game.
On second down, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Flush to his right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson going to throw again. He'll buy some time right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And I think Eifert may be in some pain, staying down following that play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings.
Ball start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 12 carries, 102 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Rolling to his right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
On first down, Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? It's certainly come out firing, even though that one was...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And now running right through it. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, here we go.
And no running here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Back to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Still shedding tackles. And down inside the 10 at the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
These type of plays are backbreakers for a defense. They thought they had him hemmed in, thought they were going to get him on the ground with the pass rush, but were unable to do so. He gets away, picks up a big 1st down, and sets up 1st and goal inside the 10.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
He'll get it up the middle. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
2nd quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Now, they've gotten it to the 1. Can they get that final yard here on 3rd and goal?
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you got all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and good.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pen. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And it's caught. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Wilson on the keeper. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Instead of having to play follow the leader there, the leader led.
I like that. And he likes that, doesn't he? 1st and goal, let me do the job.
Because you know when he falls into the end zone after falling behind those big guys who pushed up front, that's a pretty good celebration, isn't it?
Gives him a little street cred in the locker room, too, doesn't it?
Street cred, and then when they go out to dinner afterwards, he's still picking up the check.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he comes back with one complete. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now.
They're going to look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision decision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Here we go. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. And quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On the right side open is Gesicki. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's got the lead here in the 2nd quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And it's blocked. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, that's Jacobs across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the Patriots who were able to come away with the victory. Josh Rosen leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they were losers in that one to the visiting Green Bay Packers. Devontae Adams, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. And lastly, Monday Night Football has a good one lined up between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nazir Jones there on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he's got his man on the out route.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll begin the drive with Carson. A pretty nice gain there on the run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the agile move. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but closer quickly at the end. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. 3rd and 2, now Wilson. Flushed out right. And incomplete here on 3rd down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Returnable for Lockett. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Forced out to his left. Now he's going to let... And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
A sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go.
Now back to throw. The hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. The Niners on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go now.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pick up there of 20 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Got some real estate inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his his 10th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
He finds his man, Baldwin. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off down at the 2. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. That had disaster written all over. You've got a right-handed quarterback, a rolling left, and throwing it pretty far downfield.
It's really difficult to do, to try and get your body twisted around into the proper position and get anything on the ball as you heave it downfield. And that's what it actually turns into, a heave. And that's not really a good throw, is it?
Not good, and we saw the result. A good pick up there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
Trying to defend a drag route is really tough, because you don't want to jump a route that's shorter or underneath as the drag route is too quickly, because oftentimes they want to run that route and then hit over the top of you for bigger yardage. So if you can chip off the timing of the receiver off the line of scrimmage so he can't actually get into the route, that's the best way to defend it. But there was no possibility of that on that play. End result, the receiver won in a big way.
So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it. Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a two-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before you can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more two-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Wilson wants to throw it. Flush to his right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing now is Wilson, eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball?
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The 49ers moving hastily. They're scurrying to the line. Back to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
And this is going to be incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Seahawks are going to win this football game. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Escaping the pressure right. There he goes inside the 30. And he gets this one down to the 24. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Seahawks, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.